Hi everybody, I'm just some guy, and today I'm going to be talking about Iceman number 5. Oh, I fucking hate this book. I'm not even going to be nice about it. I fucking hate this book. You have one job with this book, which is to illustrate what it's like to come out to your family, and how difficult that is, and how painful that can be. And Sina Grace does it by taking his autobiography and just bukkakeing over the fucking thing. It is unbelievable how bad this is. It's like, dude, you're not in the fucking 90s anymore. It's 2017. It is so poorly written. It's so poorly done. It reads like a fox coming out switch, like some shit that you would have seen in like 1994, right after Martin went off. That's how bad this is. And what's really retarded is that he crammed every fucked up thing that someone could ever say to somebody about being gay into one comic. Now, I'd love to say the whole issue was about him coming out, because that would make sense in the storytelling scene. It would make sense. But it's not. Because Sina Grace has this idea of, well, it's a superhero book. He has to fight superheroes. Okay, so what you end up having in this book is exactly what happened in the other book, which is where the fight happens and it has zero fucking context to the story. You could take it out and it wouldn't make a difference. That's how bad this is done. Now, I mentioned in my first review that every time there was a reference to Bobby's parents saying mutant, they really meant gay. And there were a couple of people who were like, no, that's not what it's about. That's totally what it was fucking about. I mentioned in there too that the whole thing that was going on there was just Sina Grace telling his story through Bobby. That's all that it was. It wasn't any sort of new thing. And there were people like, no, he's not doing that. He's totally fucking doing it. And you know how I know? Because he admitted it. Here in the Ice Mail, I'm just going to read it so you can see that I was right. Because I was fucking right. He says here in the Ice Mail, I've known two things about the end of this arc. That Bobby would come out to his parents and that he'd fight Juggernaut, the ultimate metaphor for the unstoppable nature of things. I didn't want to make the combo with his parents easy on Bobby or the reader because there are reactions that are several times worse than what Frosty had to deal with. And all we can do in these situations is protect our sanity enough to be there the minute someone comes out and says, I love you, nothing changes that. Every word between Bobby and his folks, including Papa Drake's last statement, came from real life experiences from my journey or a close friend's journey. Now, friends, by the way, is not friends with no apostrophe, right? It's not that. It's friend apostrophe S, which means that's your fucking boyfriend. Why don't you just say it's your boyfriend? Why don't you just say that? Nobody gives a shit that you're gay, dude. Say that it's your boyfriend. So let me just lay out what it is. There was this video of this like 18 or 19-year-old boy coming out. And he was like this Southern kid, and he came from this Southern religious home, so very conservative. And it was about 4 or 5 people there in the room. Now, he was recording it and he was filming it, but you couldn't see what he was filming. So you could hear it, but you couldn't see it. And it was like his aunt, his grandmother, his stepmother, and I think like an uncle. And he's telling them that he's gay. Now, the whole time that he's doing this, he's super calm. He is like totally in control. No problem. But then his stepmother says something to him that completely throws him off his game. They were trying the whole time to get under his skin, and it just wasn't happening. And then she says to him, well, I've known since you were like 8 years old that you were gay. And he's so thrown off by it because here they are attacking him and saying he's going to go to hell and he's ruined the family and he's abandoning everything he's been taught and this, that, and the other. And then you admit, where you're sitting there acting like he's pretending to be gay or he's made himself gay, that you know he was born this way. You know that this is how he's always been, and then you're attacking him for it. So he flat out says it's like, well, if you always knew I was like that, what's the problem? Like, nothing's changed. Why do you have a problem with this? His aunt jumps in, and I cannot for the life of me remember what she said to the boy, but whatever she said to him set him off. It broke him. And that was what she was trying to do the whole time. She was trying to do this, and you could hear it in the boy's voice. Whatever she said to him, it didn't just hurt his feelings. Like, it didn't just throw him off his game. It broke him. It broke his heart. And you could hear him, like, starting to cry. He is destroyed. That's such a horrible thing to do to somebody. And that aunt that did that to her nephew, years from now, she's going to regret doing that. She better hope he's a better Christian than her. Because, I don't believe in a hell. I don't believe in that. But if there is one, your fat ass is going there. There is no way you're not going to hell for doing that. She's going to regret having done that to him. because that's going to affect every relationship that he has. That's going to affect how he thinks about himself, how he thinks about other people. And you know what? That's what needed to happen in this Iceman comic, and it fucking didn't. Instead, we get this bullshit where Cena Grace takes half the issue to have this bullshit fight with Juggernaut that doesn't need to happen, and this other shit with this coming out, which is so ham-fisted. So, to recap, in the last issue, the reason why Bobby comes out is because he tries to write a letter to his parents to explain that he's gay because he can't seem to do it in person. Kitty Pryde comes in, sees him writing the letter, and then takes it upon herself at the end of the issue to contact his parents and have them come to the X-Mansion. So when this dude comes back from not saving It's Your Boy Zach, they're there. And then when he sees them, he goes, oh, I'm gay. All this build-up over 4 fucking issues, and that's how he comes out. And what you need to understand is, if you're going to have a coming out thing, you want it to sound believable. Bobby comes across as annoyed or embarrassed. It's like he has the same reaction, like they're talking about them walking in on him masturbating for the first time or something like that. Like it's completely inappropriate to the situation. But what's worse is his parents are fucking caricature. My core problem with this book is that being a mutant is already a metaphor. The purpose of it originally was to be a metaphor for race. But over time, it has been used for many different things because ultimately the concept is applicable. And so that's what the X-Men became. A good metaphor works like that. You can use it for anything. Here's the deal with using a metaphor. If you use a metaphor, there's no reason to use the real thing. If you use the real thing, you've now defeated the fucking point of the metaphor, so it falls flat. If you try to put them both in the same story, it becomes a fucking mess. Being a mutant is already a metaphor. You don't need to have the character actually be gay and struggle with their sexuality because their being a mutant already does that. Why? Because in the X-Men universe, in the Marvel universe, being a mutant is worse than being gay. It's lower on the totem pole. It's at the bottom of the fucking rung. So if you were to deal with this in comparison to, say, someone who is an atheist and gay, for example, and they come out to their very religious family, their family would be way more pissed off that they were an atheist than they would be pissed off that the person was gay. And you can actually see examples of this. If you go and you listen to the Thinking Atheist podcast, Seth Andrews has interviewed people with that experience. This is something that happens where they say, it was way easier to come out to my parents to tell them that I was gay than it was that I was an atheist. And he's had situations where people have done the opposite, where they came out as an atheist and then they say, oh, later I'm gay. And the family was basically like, yeah, well, you're already living in sin. What difference does it make? That was their reaction. So here you're watching Bobby's parents, where they're flipping out because he's a mutant, which is far worse in the Marvel universe. And they're sitting here acting like him coming out being gay is like the biggest fucking tragedy ever. Why would you care? It doesn't make any fucking sense. But here's where it gets even more bizarre. Bobby's parents are known for their not being able to deal with him being a mutant. So the very thing that you're trying to establish here, they have a problem with him being gay. It's already been done with the character. It's already built into the character. You don't need to do this. But instead, we get this ridiculousness. So Bobby's way of coming out to his parents is to say, I'm gay. Do for do. I want to go on dates with men. Who fucking talks like this? Nobody talks like this. So then Dad gets all pissed off and he's like, are you sure? And Bobby's reaction is like, what kind of stupid question is that? Oh, I don't know. One that comes from the fact that the only people we've ever seen you with is women. And in the real world, you've got something like 60 years plus of only having sex with women. That might be the reason why he's asking that fucking question. And then Bobby says, because I thought, hey, genius idea. Let's make life more interesting and turn it on with a switch. No, you didn't do that, but Jean Grey did. Jean Grey went into your younger self's head, flicked the fucking switch, and turned the boy gay. And then somehow that magically made you gay. Now, here's the thing. A couple of days ago, someone said on YouTube, in one of the comments, that the young version of the X-Men weren't from the real past. They were actually from an alternate universe, which is what I thought initially. Bendis was claiming that wasn't true, but, Bendis doesn't tell the truth all the time. So if that's the case, then how the fuck is this grown man gay? How is he gay? Alternate Bobby is gay. They're from a completely different universe. So why do the same rules apply? Why would that Bobby be gay and then regular Bobby be gay? It doesn't make any sense. Moving on. They have this ridiculous argument going back and forth. Kitty jumps in and like tries to like help the situation. And then the mom is all pissed off that everybody knows except for them. And then Bobby has this like loving moment with Kitty, like, oh, well, I love you so much, and your heart's in the right place, but you need to go. This is going to be worse if you're still here. Well, time out. This motherfucker just brought your parents here, undercut the little plan that you had to try to like massage them into this, and you're just going to let her go. That is not the reaction an actual person would fucking have. He'd be pissed. He'd have froze her ass in fucking place in the real world. But in Selena Grace's fucked up Marvel world, yeah, your former girlfriend can just call up your parents and just completely fuck up what you're going to do to try to get them to know something about you. And your reaction is, oh, I still love you. Nigga, your ass is not gay. You want to get back in that pussy. That's what that is. That is a straight up for real pussy grab. Because there's no way, if you were really gay, you'd have tolerated that. None. She'd been put in check. So then we get this moment in the story where mom starts saying shit right out of the fucking 90s. There aren't any gays on my side of the family. Muties and queers, they must come from you. This isn't on me. Oh, okay. How do you know? How do you know that? No, Selena Grace is just throwing it all in. He's throwing in everything. This isn't just a kitchen sink. He's coming through like he's goddamn Hurricane Harvey. So then Bobby goes in and has this thing like, you're acting like this is the end of the world. Like, you've seen me risk my life all this time. Yeah, that is kind of weird, isn't it? That his parents are reacting this way, even though they've been more upset that he's a mutant. So then Dad says something that makes no sense. He goes, well, because this time you're actually dead. And then Kitty's like, and I'm out. No, leave your little skinny ass here. Where the fuck are you going? Get back here. You started this shit. You don't get to leave. You just started this, and then when it gets hot, you're like, well, I don't want to be. I'll let you guys settle it. No. Sit down. Sit that fucking training bra ass down right now. You gonna stay. She leaves, and then Dad goes on to this, ridiculous nonsense about you're not gonna give us grandkids. Why? His dick still works. He just wants to fuck men. He can still make babies. And he's like, oh, you want to touch other man, and you're never gonna leave this stupid school and grow up. Our son is dead. The Iceman wins. Look. As much as I like Iceman as a character, there's no way to make him sound cool. Just stop it. The Iceman is not going to work. That's not cool. That's not the character. He's not Batman. Let it go. So then his mom says this shit about, well, it doesn't make any sense. Why can't you just stay with women? You had so many girlfriends. Yeah, he did. Didn't he? Didn't make any sense. He had so many, and he just loves the cock. Almost like someone just magically made him like it. So he says, don't you wonder why none of them stuck around, Mom? She says, oh my God, have you been with any of them at least once? And he's like, why am I even answering this? Yes, of course. It's not about that stuff. Haven't you ever been with someone and known deep down that it's not right? That's how I felt with every girl, every time. Okay, you're right. Just true. If you're a guy, you're a straight guy, and you just can't have a functioning relationship, you're gay. You want the D. That's it. That's the only explanation. That's it. Couldn't be that you have a fucking family that's been sitting here browbeating your ass about being a mutant most of your life, so you're dysfunctional and you have psychological issues from that would fuck up your ability to love anyone because you think they're going to take it away from you at any given moment. Nope, not that. Nope, couldn't be that. Nope, you just like the D. Couldn't be that you're trying to live up to difficult standards or some sort of back history, or maybe you're like the baby of the group and so you have a hard time proving yourself and it makes it hard for you to trust people. No. Just cock in the mouth. That's it. Because no actual straight man has ever had a situation like that. Straight men, straight boys, they get in a relationship. The first girl they fuck, they are there for life. Every straight man has a completely functioning relationship. Never any issues. If he has an issue, that's because he's gay. Unfucking believable. Unbelievable. This entire argument makes no sense. Now, here's the funny part about this, is that at this point, the argument should be ratcheting up. They should be getting to the point of really getting at him and really tearing him down so that we as an audience can understand how it feels. But instead, Bobby reacts with this like very sort of timid, well, come on, you guys watch the news. Being gay shouldn't be a big deal anymore. This is as bad as you want to get it. This is such fucking weak sauce. And you're pouring it on so fucking thick here. It's not even sauce. It's fucking weak soup. Man the fuck up and tell a real goddamn story. This is how hard it is for him to come out. Now he leaves to go and fight Juggernaut Because you're in the middle of this argument with your parents. There's apparently no other X-Men anywhere near the fucking X-Mansion that can handle Juggernaut. Now, the whole time this fight is going on, he's got this fucking letter in the background where he's talking about how hard it's been for him, and he's had to live up to being Xavier's student and meet his parents, their expectations and win their love back. And it just wasn't working. He was fighting for just some part of his life to be normal, and he was ignoring all his issues. And then he finally decided that the best thing to do is that he's going to need to stop worrying about whether his choice makes everybody else happy and just worry about what makes him happy. And as long as they love him, he'll be fine. Okay, that's as good as you get. That's as close as you get to any of the shit that I saw in that fucking video. It's as close as you get to that. Then he comes back with his dad, and for some reason it's snowing, and the dad asks, like, did you make the snow happen? And Bobby's like, no. It doesn't make any sense because all the pictures that you see of people outside, they're wearing summer gear. It doesn't look like it's cold. So why the fuck is it snowing? It's just randomly snowing because I guess that would have been romantic or whatever the fuck it is that Scenic Grace is trying to do in this goddamn scene. But here's what kills me about it. Dad talks about the letter. Bobby tells him that he could turn to vapor and, explaining his mutant power and everything and going on about how he just wanted to disappear and he felt like being nothing. And then his dad says, Bobby, I love you. Nothing changes that. And then he walks away. This is like a fucking 30-minute TV show. That's what this is. So, of course, at the end of the TV show, you gotta wrap it up because this is going to be in syndication. So you want to make sure you can play it out of order. So you gotta have the fucking resolution to it. So this whole build up to him coming out, it's this big magnanimous thing. It's going to be so dramatic. What does it turn out being? He tells his parents that he's gay. Scenic Grace throws in every ham-fisted dumbass thing that he can think about, just throws it all in there. And the worst that happens in this damn story is that his dad goes like, okay, well, I still love you. Oh, that's how it happens with gay people. You're right. Nobody gets kicked out from their home. Nobody gets excommunicated from their home and their family. Nobody gets cut off. That doesn't happen. No. They still want something to do with him. They still want to have a conversation with him. They still love him. Where is the actual shit that the people say? Why did you wuss out on that? Here's my guess. Scenic Grace is so used to telling his autobiography that it's like it's become rote for him. He didn't said this shit so many times that for him it's just like he's just telling a story. And then like he admitted, he crammed in everything that he could think about. So it's not only that he's said this shit multiple times, but it's every single thing. So it has no impact because you don't have that one line that would be devastating. And then we deal with Bobby having to deal with that. It's like, I'm going to call you this. I'm going to call you this. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. Okay, then I still love you. Bye. This is what this book is. I mean, a 4-minute movie in a heartbeat, a 4-minute movie took you to that place. You know how long it took him to do it? 5 fucking seconds. 5 seconds on screen to watch this little boy's heart get broken. I'm not talking about the literal example of that. But that expression on his face, this scene, that 5 fucking seconds to take you to that place. Watch it. Go watch the film. It's not going to take long. It's only 4 minutes. Even if you don't like gay people, especially if you don't like gay people, watch it. And I dare you not to just feel your heart fucking sink when he makes that look on his face. I swear to that's what should be in this fucking book. That's what should be there. So we can see what it's like. We can understand how fucking horrible it is. Unbelievable. The book is terrible. The book is doing terribly. I think it's at 14,000 copies now. So, I mean, it's basically at the point it should be canceled because nobody's buying this book. All that's missing from this thing is 90s music. Just imagine if like Full House music was playing in the background. That's basically what this comic is. Oh, I fucking hate this book. I hate this book. It's tragic. It's so bad. And, I saw some reviews about him. I'm not even going to link to them or anything. Like, I saw some reviews about it, and they were just praising this book. Oh, it's just so good. I've never seen it. Oh, bitch, please. I've read better gay comics than this. Whatever you got in your head, that's the coming out story, like, this is what I would do, it's better than this. Oh my God, I need to read something good. I need to cleanse my fucking palate. This is unbelievable. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button, notification bell. If you got any comments, questions, anything that you want to send to me, you can send it to my Gmail account or you can post it in the comments.